Hi, I'm Adam.
Hi, I'm Joe.
And together we are the Maladjusted Misfits.
And this is one where we usually talk about Friends.
But this is our Season 4 bonus episode where we watch Courtney Cox
In the OG 1996 Scream!
Scream! Welcome, Misfits, and hello to any new Friends fans that have stumbled across our podcast.
Every week we rewatch the next episode in sequential order, but not this week.
Nope, this week we are breaking down Scream.
But we're still going to look up trivia.
And give our own maladjusted take on the whole ghost face stabbing teens movie.
We try and make each other laugh.
And fingers crossed one of you too.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you this week?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm a little bummed you're going to be leaving for a few days.
Yeah, gotta pack up and head out for work. I'll try not to have too much fun.
Better.
It's a work thing, so I can't
Not
imagine.
have fun.
You better not have fun. Oh my God, what are we doing this week?
This week we're doing Scream.
What is our IMDb plot?
Well, a masked killer targets a past victim's daughter.
That's it. That's all it says.
That's all it says on IMDb.
Wow, sums up that whole movie in one line. All right, our episode director is the well-known Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Did you know he was born in Cleveland, Ohio?
Nice.
I know. He's infamous for his horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
He directed 4 of the 6 Scream movies until his passing in 2010. He also wrote and directed his directorial debut, Last House on the Left, in 1972.
Yeah. Did you ever see that one?
No.
Yeah,
That was the year I was born, so I probably didn't see it.
No, well, I didn't see it the year it came out.
He wrote and directed The Hills Have Eyes, Swamp Thing, A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is referenced in the movie we're watching.
Yep.
People Under the Stairs, Serpent in the Rainbow, and several episodes of The Twilight Zone.
Oh, nice.
He played Fred the janitor in the original Scream, a doctor in Scream 2, and he was in Scream 3 and 4, but his scenes were both cut.
Aw.
He also played himself in 4 movies. Yeah.
Nice. That's
Our
fun.
movie writer is Kevin Williamson.
Yeah.
He wrote the first 4 Scream movies.
Yep.
And collaborated with other writers on 5 through 7. 7 has yet to come out.
Right.
But it's in the works and supposedly finished. I don't know.
Yeah, it's due sometime this year, I think.
All right.
What's this year?
2025.
No, next year. It's
Okay.
slated for next year.
He also wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer, one of your favorites, Adam, The Faculty.
Yeah, I like The Faculty.
And get this, he created the series and wrote some of the episodes for The Vampire Diaries.
Oh.
And created and wrote some of the episodes, and you'll never guess what for, Dawson's Creek.
Oh, wow.
So he went from Dawson's Creek to 4 Scream
Right.
movies. Maybe writing for James Van Der Beek made him want to write horror movies where teens get killed.
I just want to see them all die now.
Tell us about our original air date.
Well, the movie was released on December 20th, 1996. And the nearest Friends episode release was the one where Rachel quits from season 3.
Right.
But Scream opened its first weekend domestically at the number 4 spot, behind Beavis and Butthead Do America, Jerry Maguire, and 101 Dalmatians.
Wow. 4th spot, huh?
Yeah,
All
number
right.
4. And with an estimated budget of $14 million, it grossed $173 million and change worldwide.
Wow. It should not have been 4th after that.
So I looked up the other Scream movies.
Right.
To see how well they fared at the box office. So Scream 2 made, and these are all the worldwide totals.
Okay.
Scream 2 made $172 million.
Wow.
Scream 3 made $161 million. Scream 4 was the lowest at $95 million.
Okay.
And then we had Scream 5, which was just called Scream.
Yeah.
Which is the new round of movies. And that one grossed $138 million. Scream 6 was $169 million.
Whoa.
Giving us a rounded total of $911 million.
Yikes.
And we have Scream 7 in the works, which should push the franchise over that $1 billion mark.
Yeah. It's a pretty popular movie, and it's very cult now. Like, there's not many people who haven't seen the Scream movies.
Right. That's why normally we do spoiler-free Act 1 reviews, which we're still doing the Act 1 review because we only have an hour-long podcast. But also, it's not going to be as spoiler-free because I feel like everybody...
Exactly. It's like Friends. It's so long ago, people have either seen it or they're never going to see it.
Right. And if we talk some newbies into seeing it, well, good. But some things might get spoiled.
For sure. All right. You ready for some trivia? Mm-hmm. All right. Molly Ringwald and Ben Affleck were almost cast as Sidney and Billy.
Molly Ringwald?
Yeah. She was 27 at the time the first Scream came out. Said she didn't really want to play a high schooler anymore.
Yeah, Ben Affleck as Billy would have been
really bad.
I like Skeet's performance.
I do too. Yeah, he's just creepy enough that you're like questioning him the moment you meet him.
Right.
The party scene near the end of the film runs 42 minutes long. Mm-hmm. It was shot over the course of 21 days from the time the sun set until the time the sun rose.
Nice.
After it wrapped, the crew had t-shirts made that said, "I survived scene 118, which was the name of the scene during the shooting. The cast and crew jokingly called it the longest night in horror history.
It is a long night there.
It took them a long time to shoot that. Yeah. Courtney Cox approached the producers to pursue the role herself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was interested in playing a bitch character to offset her nice friend's image. This image was the main reason why the producers initially refused to consider Cox for the part. She continued to lobby the studio as she felt she could believably play the character, and she ultimately succeeded.
Yeah, I think she brings a lot more to the Gale role than somebody else would have.
For sure.
Yeah.
At around 12 minutes at the beginning of the movie, when Casey, Drew Barrymore's parents, come home to find something is wrong, her father tells her to go to the Mackenzies, which is the same thing Laurie, Jamie Lee Curtis, told Lindsay and Tommy to do in the 1978 Halloween.
Right. There's a lot of movie references contained within this movie.
It is fun. At around 13 minutes at the beginning of the film, Billy, played by, we said, Skeet Ulrich, climbs through Sidney's, Neve Campbell's bedroom window, startling her just like Glenn or Johnny Depp did to Nancy, Heather Langenkamp, in A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
Yeah.
The high school scenes were to be shot at Santa Rosa High School in California. However, very close to the shooting date, the school board read the script and denied the film to be shot there due to its violent nature. So Wes Craven put in the end credits under the special thanks section, "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa City School District Governing Board."
Yes.
I thought that was funny.
It is funny. It's funny for the first time you notice that in the credits and you're like, "No thanks."
Yeah. They were like,
I didn't know you could no thanks people in the credits.
It's all caps. It's lovely. Neither Neve or Drew met the guy who voiced Ghostface. Roger Jackson, the actor who played the voice, before shooting commenced. Whenever they're talking on the phone to the killer, they are actually talking to him.
Yeah.
In fact, none of the cast met him on the first Scream until it wrapped.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that he was on the phone talking to Drew, but they had him back in a different room.
So she didn't see him. Around 52 minutes when we meet Henry Winkler, who plays the principal, he opens his closet door and you can see his brown leather Fonzie jacket from Happy Days, 1974, hanging in his closet. And at one point, Tatum mentions, "This is starting to sound like one of those Wes Carpenter flicks."
Yeah.
This is a mashup of Wes Craven, who directed Scream, and John Carpenter, who directed Halloween.
Yes.
So lots of fun facts and trivia about this movie. In fact, I told Adam when I was investigating, there was like 4 solid pages of trivia.
Right. There's a lot of trivia and a lot of references and a lot of fun stuff in Scream. Scream's a fun movie.
All right. Tell us what your movie reactions were.
Well, Scream is one of the first horror movies that was made specifically for people that love horror movies. You know, they discuss the horror tropes and the rules, and while I do enjoy the meta aspects, I love that it's packed with characters that are talking. Because You know, a lot of horror movies have a single person wandering around the woods until those killer strikes.
Right.
These characters have fun dialogue that informs the characters and the story.
Yes.
They're all very knowledgeable.
Yes.
Every conversation is fun to listen to.
Yes.
Which is not a normal,
no.
I love this thing about a horror movie.
Right. I'm not normally a fan of horror, but this is funny and goofy and a little bit frightening. I love it. I love watching it years later and noticing things that I didn't see the first couple of viewings.
Mm-hmm.
I love the characters. I think the ending is amazing. I read Matthew Lillard was a bit of a throwaway character in the script. They really didn't make much of him.
Right.
And he made Stu so great.
Yeah.
You know, like the director and the writer both said, like, Matthew Lillard brought that character to life and probably wouldn't have been as popular.
Yeah, he's hysterical in the movie.
Gale Weathers, played by Courtney Cox. Could they be any different?
Yeah.
Besides her relentlessness, I mean, but she was really mean to poor Kenny.
Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of got that she kind of flew in and Kenny was the guy that got stuck with it because she's nicer to him as the movie goes on.
Yeah.
I think she just met him.
And that was her first.
This is how it's got to be, Kenny.
All right. Are you ready to do some favorite lines?
Yeah.
All right. So my favorite Gale Weathers line.
Okay.
and
again, we're going to be focusing heavily on Gale Weathers.
Right.
Specifically because of Courtney Cox.
Right.
And this is a Friends podcast.
Right. So we're not going to spend time breaking down all the other side characters.
Yeah.
All right. So Gale Weathers, one of my favorite lines, which we say all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, the camera, hurry.
My name's not Jesus.
Adam must say my name's not Jesus 100 times a day. Because I always go, Jesus, my name's not Jesus. All right. My favorite non-character lines. I like when Stu Macher says, my mom and dad are gonna so mad at me.
It's not the usual killer behavior.
No, and he ad-libbed that.
Yeah.
And Wes Craven.
He ad-libbed a lot of those stuff.
Yes, Wes Craven said he cracked him up so much, he let him just go and kept a lot of it. So, and then I really like when Tatum takes her lollipop and says, stupidity leak, and whacks him on the forehead. That's my favorite. Yeah. What about you?
Well, Scream is loaded with a bunch of great lines.
Yeah.
It's really hard to pick.
It is.
A handful.
Yeah.
You know, we were doing Gale lines specifically because of Courtney Cox. I like at the end, she's like, I guess I remember the safety that time, you bastard. Not something you hear Monica say very often. Another fun quote, I like Billy quoting Psycho. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Oh, yes.
I like Randy's honest self-reflection to Billy and Stu. And he's like, you're absolutely right. I'm first to admit it. If this were a scary movie, I'd be the prime suspect. I feel like I would have to say that if the cop... I get it.
You've seen my office. You know I like horror.
By the way, the original title for the movie... Scary Movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not Scream. It was originally supposed to just be Scary Movie.
Oh, that's funny.
And I like when Stu is talking about Gale, and we say this quite a bit too. She looked dead, man. Still does.
All right, favorite moment. I like when Dewey they jump away from this car that's flying down the street and he lands on top of Gale.
Yeah.
And she's laughing because they just kissed and he said he was on duty. He's like, I can't, I'm on duty.
Right.
So she's laughing at him and then she sees Neil Prescott's car and asks, is that what you're looking for? And Dewey says, all my life.
He's staring at her all my life.
Her face is so funny. She laughs and then points his head towards the car. I just love that moment. So cute.
I went with a couple different things. I went with my favorite funny moment is when Deputy Dewey and Sheriff Burke are outside the police station talking through the case, and every time the sheriff takes a drag off of his cigarette, Deputy Dewey takes a lick from his little pink ice cream cone. But every time, Wes Craven had said, I told him every time he takes a drag, you lick your cone.
That's so funny.
I think my favorite scary moment is near the end when Sid runs from the killer and hides in the police car. And she locks the doors and rolls up the windows real quick. And she's looking for the keys. And then Ghostface taps on the glass and holds out the keys.
Oh.
I already got the keys.
Oh.
And she just looks so scared.
Yeah.
and then I also do like when Jamie Kennedy is saying, "Turn around, Jamie. Turn around," to Jamie Curtis in Halloween.
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween as Ghostface is coming up behind Jamie Kennedy.
Yes. Turn around, Jamie.
Yeah.
Turn around.
It's very meta fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, favorite outfits. If I have to pick a Gale outfit, I will go with her red jacket suit and leopard headband. She has matching shoes and a plaid skirt, mainly because it's bright, fun, and it mixes patterns. I mean, she looks cute in it. She's got bleach stripes in her hair. It's kind of weird, but it's cute.
Right.
But otherwise, I would pick Tatum's outfit at school the second day.
Okay.
She wears a number 10 jersey, silver pants, pigtail braids, which is really cute. And it's also an Easter egg because the jersey, that number 10 jersey, is what Johnny Depp wore on Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. My Gale Weathers outfit would be the overdone lime green suit we first see her in. It definitely reads 90s tabloid journalist in a big way.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's no mistaking exactly what job she has. My other best would be the iconic Ghostface costume. I mean, come on.
It's a classic.
It is a classic.
I didn't put it in the trivia, but it's the number one Halloween costume for the last 25 years.
Is it?
Yes. Ghostface sells out everywhere.
Yeah, it was already a cheap costume before the movie. That's why they picked it, because it was generic. And remember a long time ago when my cousin was younger, she had me scare her at a Halloween party.
Oh,
she was like,
yeah.
"We're having a Halloween party. I want you to do something scary." So I actually stood outside the house and recorded part of the party through the windows.
Oh, you're kidding.
And then left them that tape on the doorstep. And then they watch it and they're like, "Somebody's out there recording us." And then my aunt turned off the breaker box, turning off all the lights. And I was in the room then wearing a Ghostface costume.
Oh my God. That would have made me piss my pants.
Everybody screamed and a couple of the teenage boys started picking up weapons. So my aunt had to go, no, it's a joke, it's a joke.
Oh my God. That's crazy. All right. Themes we explored in this movie.
Yeah.
Murder.
Murder.
Theme 1, a murder before the credits.
Yep.
I think that's amazing. It's an amazing way to open up a movie.
Yeah.
They open each Scream movie like that now.
Yeah.
Where there is a murder before they even show the first credits.
Right.
But this one, it was unique. And they build the movie as Drew Barrymore was the star. And so when she gets killed in the first 12 minutes of the movie, you're like, what?
Right. You're going, oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Theme 2, who is the killer? Because in each scene, it's a different one.
Yeah. That's fun to think about who is dressed as Ghostface in the first Scream movie.
Right.
Because it's two killers.
Right. So you're trying to figure out who was doing each part.
Right. So is it Stu or is it Billy?
Right. I think of it as Billy is the more aggressive, accomplished one, and Stu is the one that keeps getting kicked in the groin and hit over the head. Not that they don't both get hit and kicked.
Yes. Yes. But I read too that both of them were there at Casey and Steve's because while one of them gets knocked out when she hits the one in the face, the other one comes from behind.
Is that a fan theory that they were both there?
They're both there.
But he says he was with Tatum all night.
Oh, that's true. Maybe. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, theme 3. Everyone is a target and everyone is a suspect. That's the other thing I really like about these movies. Nobody is safe.
Well, you like whodunits anyway.
I do.
And this is a slasher movie, and all the Screams are slasher movies combined with whodunits.
Right.
So you're always trying to figure out who the killer is.
Right. They
and
give you
why
these
they're
little
killing
clues.
People.
Like the sheriff's even wearing the same kind of boots as the killer.
Yeah. Wes Craven said at one point, he goes, when we added the bathroom scene where the feet come down, he's like, now we have to make sure everybody's wearing those damn boots. And theme 4, lighthearted murder.
Yeah. Even though it's scary, it's still very funny.
That's how teenagers are. They're kind of dismissive about stuff that the adults, I mean, watching the opening scene as an adult with kids, now you're like, oh my God, that would be terrifying.
Yes.
To come home to that.
Yeah.
But
plus they didn't close school. 2 people died. And they were like, la 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 la. All right, we're going to take a quick break before we break down the movie.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello. Who is this?
It's my phone. Who is this? Adam, is that you?
What's that noise?
I'm making popcorn.
Getting ready to watch a scary movie?
No, I'm going to watch Friends.
Which episode? If it's the one with the cat, I'll get you like a fish.
Rude. Wait, am I on the radio?
No, you're not on the radio.
I'm bored of you now. I'm going to hang up.
Wait. Do you want to play a game?
No thanks. Blocking your number. Bye-bye.
Man, she hung up and blocked the number. Stu, you need to get better. It's like I'm killing everybody by myself. Sorry, Billy. You want to watch a movie or something? All right, we're back.
We're back for the movie synopsis.
Yep. So tone.
Yeah.
Overall tone of the movie. So this is a horror film that kind of defines the movie tropes. And these are kind of the tropes that all through the 80s, everybody knew these things to be true.
Right.
The you had to have the virginal girl and the
And the
no drugs.
Yeah, a couple that was having sex and doing
like
drugs.
somebody might survive if they weren't doing all these things. But if you're doing all that stuff, it's horribly, horribly bad.
I like when they say running up the stairs when she should be running out the front door. Yeah. It's also funny, the tone of the movie, which is probably why I like it. The characters are teens, they act like teens, and it's funny. There's some pretty psychopathic tones, Billy mostly. Stu is the comic relief, but pretty much everyone is a suspect, and anyone can get killed. In fact, Dewey was not supposed to survive. Everyone liked him so much, Wes decided to keep him in the sequel. So, he wasn't supposed to survive at the end of the movie, but they were like, throw him on a stretcher, we'll see what we think. All right, what about locations? This takes place at a lot of locations.
Yeah, it's all within Woodsboro.
So the films take place in an affluent town of Woodsboro, which is a fictional Northern California town.
Yeah.
Wes said he wanted it to look like a touristy wine country. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. So we're at Casey Becker's house in the beginning, and it's got cornfields and no neighbors for miles, and a pool and like 17 doors on the first floor.
I know. She walks around locking doors so much. I'm like, where are you? Then we go to the picturesque home of Sidney Prescott with her dad. Again, no close neighbors, countryside, and multiple entrances to the house.
Yeah. It's funny because we were watching Friendship the other day. We watched the new movie Friendship.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed that the houses just look like a normal neighborhood.
Yeah, it did.
It just looked like a normal, everyday and then we watched Scream that was like, the super
those houses
giant
are ginormous.
Houses.
Yes.
And then we go to Woodsboro High School. It's a typical high school, and the bathroom was particularly on point.
Oh, it was gross. Yeah,
it was gross.
Looked like a high school bathroom. Then we're in the sheriff's office. Nothing peculiar or spectacular about it. It was normal sheriff's office.
Yeah, and then we're at Stu Macher's house, another large, extravagant house in the sprawling wine country, away from everything.
Yep. No neighbors, lots of cornfields. Yeah.
Very good for a killer to come along.
Right. We didn't do everything that was on the soundtrack, but do you want to talk about some of the songs we liked in the soundtrack?
Sure. I mean, there's some good older songs like Don't Fear the Reaper, performed by Gus Black.
Yeah, and I liked Red Right Hand, performed by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
And then, of course, School's Out, performed by Alice Cooper, which is a rock classic.
Youth of America, performed by Bird Brain. That's a good song, too, movie.
First Cool Hive, performed by Moby.
And then Whisper to a Scream, performed by Soho.
Yeah.
Quite a few, 90s songs in there, but a couple old ones, too.
Yeah, a couple throwbacks.
All right, are you ready to break down Act 1 synopsis?
I am.
All right.
All right, so we have the famous Scream opener. So we saw this opening weekend in Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
And again, way back when we thought it was just Drew Barrymore was the star. But the phone rings and Drew answers, and it's the wrong number. And she's nice enough, but she gives a little eye roll and call back. And she apologizes, and they're like, I want to talk to you. And she's like, they have 900 numbers for that. And then there's an exterior shot of the house, but the swing on the tree is swaying.
Oh, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that that's the swing that they use.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross.
So, yeah, he might have just been sitting on that swing when he called her.
Ugh.
And I like the floating camera shots in the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially kind of floating around her as she's going through this expansive house. But it's very creepy because you can see just how many windows there are and how much you don't know is beyond those windows.
And everyone thinks, oh, we're out in the country, so it won't matter. There's no neighbors. We can have all these, like, open glass windows.
Yeah. So Casey starts making old-fashioned popcorn, Jiffy Pop on the stove. And the caller calls back, and she's annoyed, but she is in high school. So I think she figures it's probably Randy or somebody playing a prank on her. And she tells them that she's making popcorn. She's going to watch a scary movie. And her favorite movie is Halloween. And they say theirs is Nightmare on Elm Street. She replies that the first one was good, but the rest sucked.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven wrote that line himself. So I thought that was funny.
But it's funny because he also directed the 6th one, New Nightmare. So it's a self-burn. They have some playful banter, and she kind of teases that he wants to ask her out. And he asks her what her name is. And she's like, why do you want to know my name? And he's like, I want to know who I'm looking at.
That's creepy. Yeah, that really snaps her out of it.
There's a horror movie sting. The camera pans in on her. And now she's concerned. So she starts turning on the patio lights and checking around. She tells him she's got to go, and she hangs up. The Jiffy Pop is closer to being done, so she kind of heads over there. And then, of course, the phone rings again. She tells him to call someone else and hangs up again, and the phone rings again. And this time she's like, okay, listen, asshole. And that's when he snaps back. No, you listen, you little bitch. Hang up on me again. I'll gut you like a fish. You understand?
Oh, no. That was creepy. Don't do that.
She asks if this is some kind of joke. And he's like, more of a game, really. And he tells her, can you handle that, Blondie?
Uh-oh.
And now she's scared. Now she's running around checking all this is the scene you were talking about. She's locking door after door. And then she kind of locks the front door and peeks out the window. And then he asks the terrifying, can you see me? Uh-huh. Which I think is super creepy since she's looking for him.
Yeah.
No sign of him. She threatens to call the police, but he taunts her, saying, we're out in the middle of nowhere. They never make it in time. So she begs, what do you want? And his answer to that is a bit unsettling. He says he wants to see what her insides look like.
It's very not Friends.
Joey, stop calling Chandler and tell him you want to see what his insides look like. Now, she hangs up and sets down the phone, and the doorbell rings, and she yells, who's there? This is one of the rules we'll find out later.
Right.
Never ask who's there.
Who's there?
The phone rings again. She screams before answering it. The killer offers, you should never say who's there. Might as well come outside and investigate a noise. This is certainly the setup of a horror movie now. These are all the tropes. And all the characters in this movie know all these tropes very well.
Yeah, they watch horror movies,
So Casey, now crying, warns that her big football-playing boyfriend will be there soon. And the killer asks, his name wouldn't be Steve, would it? And then he tells her to turn on the patio lights again.
Uh-oh. That's creepy, too.
So Steve is taped to a lawn chair with duct tape. And the caller tells her that he wants to play a game. And he tells her she has to play movie trivia or Steve dies. So here Casey huddles behind the family TV, which is on and has that bright blue screen that TVs in the 90s always had that color.
Before you put in a VHS?
Yeah, before you put in a VHS tape. So question 1 is, who's the killer of Halloween? And she's like, Michael Myers. So this reminds me, there's in the MTV Movie Award show, they had a little skit with this, and they had the caller going, "Who's your favorite SNL character?" And she was like, Michael Myers. Second question is, who's the killer in Friday the 13th? And Casey screams, "Jason, Jason, Jason!" And the killer's like, "Wrong." And she insists, because she saw that movie a million times. But the caller reveals that the OG killer was, in fact, Mrs. Voorhees. Jason did not show up until the sequel. And I just had this funny thought that the Friday the 13th movies would be so much more fun if it was Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, it would be a lot.
So for getting the question wrong, poor Steve gets gutted.
Oh.
And boy, howdy did Steve get gutted.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, this is pure gore. So if you're not into that, Friends fans, don't watch Scream. Final question he asks is, what door am I at? You know, there's the front door.
Right.
He thinks there's two main entrances to her house. And then there's 7 to 8 small ones. And she can't guess. She's too scared at this point. And then a chair comes crashing through from the patio. Casey takes off running for the kitchen. She grabs a knife. The popcorn's burning at this point. And I think it's cool that she does not even try to put it out. She's like, it's on the stove. It's fine.
Right.
She catches a glimpse of a guy running through the house in a costume. So she kind of backs herself into this other door, and she kind of exits the house and kind of hides in the corner. And I think if she would have just stayed there, she probably would have been okay.
Right, because it would have taken him a while to figure out she wasn't in the house.
Right.
And, yeah.
And we see Casey's parents coming down the road toward the house. Now, the way the movie's cut, I don't know if she sees them coming down the house. Because there's a fence right next to her.
Okay.
I feel like she wouldn't be able to see them.
Okay.
But they're coming down the street. But we think, oh, the cavalry's coming.
Right,
you know,
right.
Again, if she could just last 5 more minutes, she'd probably be cool, right? But Casey sneaks a peek in the window, and then we get the first reveal of Ghostface as he spins around, and he just instantly punches through that glass and grabs her by the wrist. So this is when she punches him in his ghost face with the phone and runs past poor Steve out there on the chair. So she runs around the corner of the house, and this is when she definitely sees the parents' car.
Right.
But Ghostface leaps through a window, tackling her. And Casey runs toward her parents, but Ghostface comes out behind her and stabs her in the chest. She falls to the ground, and they kind of wrestle, and she knocks the knife away with the cordless phone, but he starts to choke her. And then she knees him in his ghost balls. But she is unable to scream.
Because she was just being choked, yeah.
So she's trying to crawl, and she's feet away from her parents, who are just having a normal conversation as they're walking in the house. But they go inside, never having heard her, and they find the house a mess, and there's smoke everywhere. So they start freaking out. So Ghostface knocks Casey over, and she weakly pulls off his mask before he stabs her.
Yeah.
And the parents are in full panic mode, which, again, is kind of gut-wrenching.
Right,
you know, the mom tries to call the police, but all she can hear is Casey moaning and gasping for breath. The dad tells the mom to go to the neighbors, the McKenzies, you said.
Yeah.
But as mom leaves the house, she just stops and screams because Casey is hanging from that tire swing out front. She has been gutted and hung.
Yeah, and then it zooms in on her. And
it zooms in really fast. Do you know why it zooms in so fast?
Because they weren't allowed to show the guts.
Yeah, because the MPAA was like, that's too disgusting.
Right.
The shot was like 3 times as long.
Oh.
So they sped it up so they could use it.
Yeah, they had a hard time, I read, too, getting an R rating because it was so gory.
Yeah.
All right, so that same night, we go to Sidney Prescott's bedroom. She's sitting in her state-of-the-art computer for that time.
Yes.
Which also has internet.
Yes. It's a computer with internet inside the house.
Inside the house.
That is amazing.
Yeah, the screen is green now. She hears a noise and goes to investigate at the window, and a greasy young man comes through her window asking if she sleeps in that. And we find out it's her boyfriend, Billy Loomis.
So Billy is kind of named after Dr. Loomis from Halloween, but he was named after Sam Loomis, the boyfriend in Psycho.
Oh, really?
So it's like Loomis was a name that they were passing down through the horror movies for a while.
All right. So there is a knock at her bedroom door, and she tells Billy that he has to go. her dad's going to kill him. And her dad opens the door, but her door catches on the closet door. So this is like the first time of many that this happens.
Right.
And they bring it back.
And it's a cute little thing because we had a weird doors that did that in my house growing up.
Right. Where you open the closet door, and when you have it open, you cannot open the other door. So her dad is there and says he heard a scream. She insists that she didn't. And then she turns, sees that Billy is not there, so she lets her dad in. So he comes in and tells her that he's leaving and won't be back until Sunday.
Right, he's going on a work trip.
Right.
And if the killer were, like, in the room and listening, that's information he would probably like to know.
Yeah, so... when the dad leaves, Billy comes out and goes into a soliloquy about how he was watching The Exorcist. It was edited for television. And she makes a little joke in there. You were watching The Exorcist and you decided to come over to my house.
Yeah. And all I was thinking is, don't ever watch The Exorcist edited for television. Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah. It's like, what could they possibly show?
Right.
What is in the movie?
It's like my grandma said, I told her, like, I've always liked the movie Seven, but I've always been like, don't watch it. Yeah. It's not for you.
Right.
I love it, but don't watch it.
Yeah.
And then one time she was like, I watched it on TV the other day. And
it's not that bad.
And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, it was probably like 10 minutes long, too.
So anyhow, he explains that he was watching The Exorcist edited for television, explains that she and he used to be headed for a solid NC-17 rating, but now they're just edited for television. But really, he just killed 2 people and has an adrenaline rush and needs to, like, release it somehow.
Right.
They start to make out, and when he starts to go too far, she tells him he better leave. Then she gives him a PG-13 peek at the good stuff, which means he sees it, but we don't.
Yeah. The NC-17 rating never went anywhere. They were hoping that it was going to be the new R.
Right.
The difference was you couldn't even get in if you were younger with an adult.
Oh, in the NC-17?
Yeah, the NC-17. So you could have it a little more gory and sexual and stuff because no kids were ever going to even get in the theater.
So he ends up calling her a tease and backs out of the window.
So the next morning, we're at Woodsboro High School. There's cops and TV reporters on the street and the sidewalk, and the kids are all walking around, and some of them look confused, and some don't. And Sidney walks by a reporter who is none other than Linda Blair, Reagan from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Then we zoom in on Gail Weathers, reporter for Top Story, in her hideous lime green suit. And she's reporting on the murders of the 2 kids the previous evening. Sid seems a little miffed at Gail's presence alone. And then she runs into her best friend Tatum, who is young Rose McGowan, looking weird blonde. It always takes me a minute to adjust to that. But Tatum explains that Casey Becker and her boyfriend Steve Orth were gutted last night.
Oh, my.
She says it was bad, worse even than, and she kind of looks at Sidney and goes, well, it's bad. Again, hinting at some backstory we're not privy to yet.
Right.
Then they enter the school, and Sidney is staring at the empty seat next to her, vacated by Casey. And the teacher tells her that it's her turn to go to the principal's office and get interrogated. So Sidney goes to the principal's office, and the principal is Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
Who is a very, very touchy and weird principal.
Yeah.
But it's to make him a suspect.
Right.
Again, everybody... The sheriff, Dewey, the principal, everybody, you're supposed to be kind of going... Is it him? Yeah. Yeah. Sidney says hi to Dewey, who he corrects her and says, it's Deputy Riley today, Sid. Our boy kid dressed up as Deputy Dewey Riley for Halloween one year.
Yeah, when he was in high school. Yeah. That was what he wanted to be.
Well, he was going to be... He was just wanting to be Ghostface.
Right.
But... They stopped allowing masks and everything because everything's crazy now. We live in a crazy world.
Yes, we do.
So he went for Dewey. But Dewey is also Tatum's older brother, which is why Tatum is so well informed throughout the whole movie.
Right, because her brother's a deputy.
Yeah. So Sheriff Burke is in the room too. This is Joseph Whipp, who also played Sergeant Parker in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
They ask her about Casey, and it cuts to the end of the school day because she doesn't know anything about Casey. She's the only person we know is now a suspect is Sidney.
Yes.
And it's the end of the day. I can't tell, or if they might have let him go early.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Either way, over the PA, we hear, your principal loves you and wants you to be saved. Therefore, there's a curfew in effect right now. I was like, my principal loves me? Ew. Are they really so touchy-feely now? Because they were not in my day.
No. Then we meet the friends outside the high school. They're sitting around. Looks like they're eating lunch or a snack or something. Tatum, Sidney, Stu, Billy, and Randy.
Yeah.
And they're discussing the killings and what the police asked them, specifically the boys. They asked the boys if they like to hunt.
Uh-oh.
They mentioned the killings are so brutal that it takes a man to do something like that. Sidney asks, how do you gut someone? Meaning, like, how do you personally gut someone? Not explain to me.
Right.
But Stu Mocker explains that you take a knife and you cut them from groin to stern.
It's called tact, you fuck rag.
So Billy's like, stop talking about it, you dumbass.
Right. I was looking through the original script today when I was doing my notes, and there was a line in the script that was like, you know, in Jaws, when they cut the fish open and pull out the license plates.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Sidney asks Stu, didn't you date Casey? To which he replies, yeah, for like 2 seconds. Randy asks where he was when the murders happened. And Tatum gives Stu his alibi.
Yeah.
So that is a theory, but he must not have been there because...
Yeah. I think the original idea was, I'm going to kill the girl that dumped you, and then you're going to kill my girlfriend like strangers on a train.
Right.
Crisscross. Right before the anniversary.
Right. So Tatum asked Randy where he was, and he was working at the video store from which he got fired from twice.
Right. He's so happy about it.
And Randy asked if they put her liver in the mailbox next to her spleen.
He's doing a very Jerry Lewis.
Yes, kind of voice, yeah. And Sidney gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
And Stu tells him to leave her alone.
Liver, it's a joke, man. Leave her alone.
No.
So back at Sidney's house, Sidney is dropped off, and we see her talking to Tatum. And they're arranging a sleepover. She'll pick her up around 7, and she complains that with the reporters and everything, it's like deja vu all over again. You know, again, telling us something happened that we don't know about.
Right.
With the great Yogi Berra quote.
Right.
One of our friends did not know the Yogi Berra quote when we originally saw the movie.
So he thought this was a really bad line.
Yeah, he was like, that's a horrible line. Why would you leave that in? I go, it's a joke, man. It's a famous quote. So Sidney packs for overnight and then turns on the TV, and you know, the only thing is on the different TV stations reporting the news and of the 2 murders, and the 3rd channel lands on Gail Weathers and her lime green suit. Joe said I had to mention it as many times as possible.
Yeah, it's really horrible.
Horrendous.
And it's definitely like a tabloid TV reporter outfit.
Right. She reminds me of, remember in From Dusk Till Dawn, which is the same time frame.
Yes.
What's Travolta's name? Anyway,
Preston. What's her name?
Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston.
Kelly Preston shows up in that as a tabloid person for like 2 seconds going, that brings her total killings up to 10 police officers, 3 Texas troopers, and 19 civilians.
Yeah, she's very chipper and happy.
But she's dressed the same way.
Exactly. Her hair's very poofy. And
that was a thing in the 90s. Okay, so Gail Weathers explains that this is not the only time in Woodsboro such tragedy has occurred. So this is our backstory. A year ago, Maureen Prescott, Sidney's mother, was raped and murdered close to the town square.
Ugh.
I know, fucking wine country, right? So Sidney falls asleep waiting for Tatum. And later that evening, it's dark, you know, there's a little time passage.
Yep.
Sid wakes up, and it's well past 7 to the phone ringing. And Tatum assures her that Casey... She's like, you're late. And Tatum's like, oh, don't worry. Casey and Steve didn't bite it till way past 10. Everybody's so caring and supportive. She puts it down and starts to get ready, but the phone rings again. And it's the caller from the opening. So it's Roger Jackson again. He also did the voice of the little thing in Mars Attacks that were like, we come in peace.
Oh, really?
He does a lot of voice stuff. But Sidney assumes right away that it's Randy. Mm-hmm. So she tells the caller that, oh, you know I don't watch scary movies. And says they're insulting because it's always a big-breasted girl always running up the stairs when she should be running out the front door. And then the caller tells her that he's not Randy and he's on the porch. And she calls his bluff. she goes outside on the porch and starts play acting like she's picking her nose. And what am I doing then? Can
if
you
can see me?
What am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. She's kind of taunting him. He doesn't like that very much. So he's like, if you keep that up, you're going to die just like your mother.
Oh.
And now she's pissed.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck you, you cretin. Which I don't call people cretin enough. I feel like,
you need to go put that in your vocabulary.
Yeah, I need to add cretin to my regular. She turns and goes back in and locks the door, and the killer pops out of the closet, and they scuffle. I always like about the Scream movies, the killer is always a regular person.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually a teen. Mm-hmm. They get punched and kicked and hurt. They aren't just some unstoppable force.
Right, yeah.
That can get stabbed in the hand and just throw it aside.
Right, because they're not, like, getting stabbed. They're just getting kicked in the groin and knocked down and punched in the face.
Right,
but
they scuffle.
you hear them go, ugh.
Yeah. They don't always win the scuffle.
Oh, no.
And that makes it more fun because, one, that makes it more realistic.
Yep.
But it's also, that's just a person.
Yeah.
Sydney's stunt double gets her head bashed in a bit, but she kicks him in the chest, and when he goes flying, she tries to open the front door, but it's locked because she locked it with the chain.
Right.
So, Ghostface lunges at her, and what does Sidney do? She runs up the stairs with her regular breasts and her good acting. She hides in her bedroom and does that closet trick thing right away so he can't get in. And,
right.
And the killer is like swinging around like a crazy person trying to get her with that knife. And Sid picks up the phone, but it's disconnected. So she connects to her fancy computer and dials 911 using technology.
Technology, yep.
That would have been unplugged with the phone line, but
the internet line is separate.
It is now. It wasn't then. But as she turns to find the killer's no longer at the door. And then Billy lunges into the windowsill into her room again. Mm-hmm. She cries, and he assures her that the killer's gone. He's gone. I don't see him anywhere. And they hug, and a cellular phone drops from his pocket and bounces on the floor. So Sidney puts two and two together. Because in the 90s, not everybody had cell phones.
Yeah.
They were for like doctors and movie producers and things, not teens.
Right.
Teen having one was suspicious.
Right. And she didn't act like she knew he even owned a cell phone.
Right.
So she was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
She backs up.
So she gets scared of Billy right away, and she heads out the door, and he's going, wait. And she runs out the front door, swings it open to reveal the Ghostface mask there, and she screams. But it's revealed Dewey is holding the mask, and he screams because she's screaming.
Dewey's so funny.
Yeah, like Courtney Cox, David Arquette is great in all of these.
Right. All right. So we established that the cops are there, right? Because Dewey meets her at the front door. And they arrest Billy. So her 911 call through the computer must have worked.
Yeah.
He protests, and Sidney is being looked over in the ambulance. Tatum arrives finally, tells Dewey that Sidney is staying with her tonight.
Does Mom know?
I love that. I should have put that as one of my favorite lines. Yeah. It's so funny. Yes, she knows. Just then, Gail Weathers pulls up and tells the cameraman, Jesus, hurry up.
My name's not Jesus.
She talks to Tatum, and Tatum tells her she's a real pain in the ass. Sidney is loaded into the police car, and they're headed to the sheriff's station. Gail turns and says to her cameraman that she knows he's about 50 pounds overweight, but when she tells him to hurry, it means move your fat tubblard ass now. So very not Monica.
Yeah.
I do not care for her tone.
Oh, yeah. She's fun. I think she has a lot of fun playing Gail.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at the Woodsboro police station. Dewey has checked out the hotel where her dad is supposed to be staying, but he cannot find her dad. Aww. Sidney looks at Billy looking all forlorn at her in his creepy serial killer way.
It's the hairdo. It's the greasy, banged hairdo.
Yeah. The sheriff is questioning Billy with his dad, asking why he has a cellular phone, son. And they're telling him they're just going to keep him there until they get his phone records. They ask why you were at Sidney's house.
Right.
And he explains, well, I wanted to see her. And he's like, the same with last night? Sidney told him about that, too. His dad's like, you went out last night? Billy protests, I didn't kill anybody. Today.
That wasn't me.
The police station is swarming with TV reporters outside, and Gale Weathers is not just anybody, she says, and she tries to just barge right in, but they stop her.
Yeah.
And back inside, Dewey explains that the ghost face mask can be bought at any 5 and dime in the state.
5 and dime.
Tatum makes fun of her brother and begs them to let them leave. Dewey goes, "What did Mom say? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law." And she just makes fun of him. And he's like, "That's my superior over there." And Tatum quips, "The janitor's your superior." But Dewey is going to drive them to his mommy's house. Side note, Mrs. Riley is also Billy Peltzer's mom from Gremlins.
Yeah.
So Gale realizes that there's a back entrance to the police station. And they see Sidney and Tatum standing in the alleyway. So she runs down there and asks Sidney how she's doing. And Sidney's like full of anger and rage. So she tells Tatum, "Oh, Gale's just doing her job. I can get her interviewed." And she asks Gale, how's the book going? And she's like, "Well, it's going to be out soon." And she goes, "I'll look for it." And Gale goes, "I'll send you a copy." Because, it's about her mother's crime. It's about her mother's murder.
Yeah,
so
of course she wants to read it.
She spins around and just clocks Gale right in the face. Yeah, bitch goes down.
Okay, we're back at Tatum's house. Mm-hmm. Tatum is regaling the knockout of Gale because, she really clocked her.
Right.
She says, "Bam, bitch goes down. Sid, super bitch." Dewey drops off some ice for her right hook, and then the mom comes in and says Sidney has a phone call. It's Ghostface. But what? Billy was arrested.
Oh, no.
So Tatum's mom knocks on Dewey's door, like, Dewey, get up, get up, get up.
Right.
He comes out after the caller is hung up, but he still picks up the phone receiver and goes, "Hello."
So the killer taunts Sidney, saying that she's always fingering the wrong guy.
Ooh, there's another dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Because what does that mean?
Some guy's in death row for killing her mom.
Yep. And it's not.
He's saying that he killed her mom.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about Gale Weathers.
Gale Weathers. In this scream, we find Gale as the ultimate TV tabloid journalist. She is tenacious like Monica, but has a hard edge and is pretty full of herself.
Oh, yeah. She reveals that she has been investigating and wrote a book about the murder of Sidney's mom, who was allegedly raped and murdered by Cotton Weary.
And Gale believes Cotton is innocent. What's his name? Liev Schreiber.
Yeah,
Liev Schreiber plays Cotton, and he comes back for the sequels. Gale believes he's innocent and didn't kill her mom, but was having an affair with her, like several other of the town husbands.
Uh-oh.
Not looking too good.
She's not very nice to her cameraman.
But again, she's nicer to him as the movie goes on.
Right. And at first, she is pretending to flirt with Dewey to get closer to the story.
Yeah, but she ends up really liking Dewey.
Well, he's sweet and innocent and reminds her of Chandler.
Okay, easy.
Gale can hold her own, although she's knocked out and forgets to take the safety off. Come on, did you not watch Die Hard with a Vengeance that came out the year before?
Right.
You gotta remove the safety.
You gotta take the safety catch off. She comes around in the end and helps out the survivors. The thing I like about Gale is that even though she has a hard edge and intense drive, she's smart.
Yeah.
And she's not wrong about Cotton Weary. And her relationship with Dewey kind of rounds her out a bit, instead of leaving her like a flat Geraldo character.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but with each Scream movie, she starts off kind of like picking with Sidney. They're still not best friends, but she ends up saving and helping save her in the end all the time. They're working together to find the killer. And so I think they end up being good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even if they're not good friends, she knows she can trust Gale.
Absolutely. She's not the killer.
So we're going to just kind of go through how Gale is in the rest of the sequels.
Yep.
Since we're focused mainly on Courtney Cox. So Scream 2, we're at Windsor College instead of Woodsboro. And this is where Randy and Sidney are attending. And it's 2 years after the original events.
Yep.
It opens with murder. There's 2 more murders at the premiere of the Stab movie.
Okay.
That is mirrored after the events of Woodsboro, which I think is a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
They have their own little movie series within the movie.
Yeah.
And Heather Graham is playing Casey. And at the end credits of the movie, they think Gale Weathers' book So she profited a little on the things that happened.
Yeah. So Gail shows up with her Monica Bob in Scream 2, but with really fun red highlights.
Yeah.
And she dresses much better in this film.
She manages to piss off Sidney again and gets another sucker slap. And we find that Gail wrote negative remarks about Dewey in her book. And then he showed up.
Right.
Now with a severe limp and twisted arm. He stayed in Woodsboro.
Yeah, he ended up not. Wherever she went, he didn't go.
Yeah. I think even at the end of the first movie,
you weren't
she
sure.
seems legitimately like...
He's cute.
She kind of likes him a little bit. But they could have just left it off and pretend like they never had any kind of relationship.
So with the help of Gail and Dewey, they try and track down a new murderers and rekindle their romance for a bit.
Yeah, Gail is there at the end. She gets shot this time, but she helps Sidney stay safe. It's a complicated love-hate relationship these gals have.
Yeah. Gail has a great line where Randy asks when did you start smoking? And Dewey says, ever since those nude pictures on the internet. So there were fake images of Courtney Cox that appeared on the World Wide Web prior to the production of this movie.
Oh.
And so Gail in the movie subsequently retorts by saying, it was just my head. It was Jennifer Aniston's body.
Zing. Okay, so in Scream 3, we're in Los Angeles, California. We're on the set of making the movie Stab 3.
Right.
So in this one, we open with Cotton Weary, the original suspected murderer, and he gets killed before the credits rolls.
Yeah. We find out Sidney's in hiding, so she's not anywhere anyone knows where she is, and works as a crisis line counselor.
Yeah. And Gail pops up right away as soon as Cotton's dead. And she's giving a lecture, but she has cut her own bangs, like that thing that people do on the internet when they pull them down really tight. And...
She has very micro bangs.
Yeah. But she helps the new detective, played by Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah. The killer that killed Cotton Weary left a picture of Sidney's mom at the scene. What?
Oh.
Yeah.
So the people who are cast as the original characters in the Stab movie are now themselves getting stabbed.
Right. The girl who plays Sidney in Stab 3 has a funny reference to Friends. She says, now I see why Tori Spelling and David Schwimmer didn't come back.
And the lovely Parker Posey plays Gail Weathers in the Stab movies and follows Gail around while trying to find out who done it while trying not to get killed. And they are fun together.
Right, because Gail really does not like her. And Parker Posey is just hilarious, as always. So Gail and Dewey reconnect and help solve the mystery together, and we get another Geller in leather pants.
And at the end, little Harmonica gets engaged to Dewey.
I know, it's so cute.
In Scream 4, Sidney returns to Woodsboro for the 15th anniversary after the original events. She's on a book tour now.
Right.
She reconnects with Sheriff Dewey and Gail, who are now married, as well as her cousin Jill and her Aunt Kate.
Yeah. In this movie, it's a younger generation, and streaming is the new movie, right? And Sidney's cousin wants the attention on her. Yeah. She was really pissed that Sidney got all the attention.
Right. But Gail is jealous of Dewey's deputy. Yeah. Because Dewey's the chief now.
Right.
And she's also a little bored trying to be a normal fiction writer. Yeah. She's not good at that.
She's not, good at staying home. She really likes the investigating.
Yeah.
She shows up at Sidney's book signing, and they find the killer's knife and phone in Sidney's rental car.
Yeah. And in this movie, Gail gets to go back to doing a little bit of her investigative journalism.
Yeah, she enjoys that.
Yeah, she likes that the best, I think.
And in the end, Gail and Dewey put it all together again and save Sidney. Not without getting hit and stabbed a couple times.
Yeah. Like they do.
Yes.
So Scream 5?
Scream 5.
25 years after the streak of brutal murders to shock the quiet town of Woodsboro, a new killer dons a ghost face mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past.
Uh-oh.
This is our first non-Wes Craven one because he had passed away.
Yep. Two new characters visit a reclusive Dewey Riley, who's been in a bad place ever since his divorce from Gail Weathers.
Wah, wah.
The two ask for his help in stopping the killer, but he declines and kicks them out. However, Dewey contacts Sidney Prescott and then Gail, changing his mind, and he goes to assist.
Just a little side note. I like that David Arquette and Courtney Cox continued to work out on these after they had gotten divorced.
Yes.
And I can't remember if it was this one or 4.
Right.
But there's one where we're watching the bloopers and the outtakes. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where they're supposed to be talking to each other, and he goes in and starts going to the bathroom. And he really starts peeing.
Oh, my gosh.
Next to her. And
really?
She starts cracking.
Oh, my gosh.
But unfortunately, this go-around, things do not fare well for Dewey. And Sidney and Gail stay into the end to help once again fight off the killer.
Yeah, Gail refuses to report about these new murders to not give the killers notoriety.
Right.
So she's trying to stop the cycle of this and plans instead to write a touching tribute to Dewey.
Right. And then in Scream 6, with no Sidney and no Dewey, the survivors, not that Sidney's fine, she's just...
Yeah.
The studio actually lowballed her, so she said no, she didn't want to be in the movie.
She's like, no thanks, but I hear she is in 7.
Yeah, she is in 7. The survivors from the last movie are in New York City now.
Yeah. After some murders, the sisters meet with the FBI Special Agent Kirby Reed, a survivor of the 2011 killings from Scream 4.
Right.
And then reporter Gail Weathers, who reveals that Sidney Prescott and her family have gone into hiding in response to the recent attacks.
Right. Gail takes a group to an abandoned cinema that she found while investigating, which has been set up as a shrine to the ghost-faced killers, including all of the weapons, outfits from each set of attacks. Ghostface later calls Gail at her apartment and torments her about the death of Dewey before killing her boyfriend and attacking her. The sisters arrive in time to stop Ghostface from killing Gail.
Yeah. It wraps up. Most people survive, and the sisters walk off into the sunset.
So Scream 7 is currently filming or finishing up or whatever. Melissa Barra and Jenna Ortega have dropped out, but Neve Campbell is coming back. Kevin Williamson, the OG writer, is returning to direct this one.
Oh, that's good.
So let's cross our fingers for lots of Scream fun with Sidney and Gail.
Aww. All right, well, that's the end of our breakdown of Scream movies and Gail Weathers. Cut and print.
Cut and print.
We're going to take another break. We'll be right back.
Yeah, hi, this is Frank at Monica and Rachel's.
Hi, Frank. Is Phoebe there?
Hold on. Phoebe!
Hi, Phoebe here.
Hello, Phoebe.
Chandler?
No, I'm not Chandler. What's your favorite scary movie?
Did you see Son of Mask? That's terrifying.
No, like a horror movie.
Frank, what's your favorite scary movie?
Critters?
How about Critters?
How about Halloween, when the guy in the mask stalks the babysitters?
Nah, I'm gonna go.
You hang up on me and I'll carve up the chicken, the duck, and make a lovely meal.
Ooh, but I'm a vegetarian.
I know, Blondie.
Okay, listen, you little mama's boy. I'll find you and your until you can't yourself.
Give me the phone. You made him cry. All right, what did we learn about these movies?
All right, Gail is a complex character. Mm-hmm. She's in it for herself a lot of the movies, right? But she's also torn between the sweet innocence of Dewey and living a normal life because she really does like to be an investigative reporter.
Right. She's a city girl.
Yeah. She's very different from Monica, but also somewhat the same. Mm-hmm. It's as if Monica wasn't sweet. If she gave in more to her competitive nature, she's the multiverse version of Monica.
I learned that it's all a movie, Joe. It's all one big movie. And if you have a bunch of people, stick together and fight that killer together.
Yeah.
Also watch movies. It helps killers, but it also helps the prey, too.
All right. What are your final thoughts?
Billy was such a little mama's boy. I like when he finally confesses why he's doing this.
Yeah.
To Sidney.
Right. And Stu is like,
Stu's like, I never heard any, you never told me this.
I don't remember agreeing to that. I think my favorite thing about the movie is they do a really good job of making everyone a suspect. And that it's not unresolvable, like Michael Myers always gets away and disappears.
Right.
But they keep thinking of new ways to continue the story with new twists and turns, and they keep it funny, and I really like it.
And anybody can be a ghost face.
Yeah.
You, too, can buy a ghost face costume and kill people.
All right, what is our IMDb rating for Scream?
The IMDb rating for Scream is 7.4 stars out of 10.
Wow.
And that is with more than 424,000 ratings.
Whoa. That's a lot.
That's a lot of reviews.
Yeah. And people are like kind of on the fence about it. You either loved it or you didn't. So for a review for this episode, I reached out to some of our fellow podcasters of Carrie Never Saw That. We mentioned them before on the pod, but they are big horror movie buffs, and here's what they had to say about Scream.
Okay.
Howdy, howdy. This is Captain Honeybeard, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Carrie.
That's me. We are coming to you guys from our podcast studio for Carrie Never Saw That. Our friends over at the other podcast of the one where we talk about Friends reached out to us and asked if we could throw a little blurb about the movie Scream, because they know that we are big horror fans. And we're excited to come to you guys and tell you what we thought about that movie. We're a little bit older.
Yeah. First of all, thanks to these guys for putting us on here. You may not realize it, my dear, but Scream was an early movie that we saw together when we were dating.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hot-ass minute ago.
It was a minute ago, yeah. Scream came out in December of 96. We started dating in summer of 97. So yeah, it hit VHS about the time we started going out together. So I distinctly remember us watching this one in your house early on. Well, not sure how much I was watching it. You know, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, stop.
So yeah, I'm a fan of the first Scream movie. I've seen all the Screams, or all the sequels. First one by far the best in my opinion.
I thought it was a whole lot of fun seeing actors that we knew from other things in a horror movie.
Yeah, it was cool to see, Drew Barrymore,
Yeah.
Rose McGowan, and these were, hot up-and-coming actors of the time in a horror movie, which you really didn't get at that time. It was usually, nameless B-list, actors.
Scream queens, right.
Right, trying to make their way in Hollywood. It's their first movie or something like that. But this Scream was very glossy and very slick and well done and revived the whole slasher genre.
Absolutely. It was very much the antithesis of what I was accustomed to with horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're expecting kind of grainy footage and a lot of silence and scary for the psychological horror. And Scream, for me, what I feel like the most fun of it was it turning everything that I thought I knew about horror movies on its head.
Yeah, it's of course very meta.
Very meta.
So,
but that was fun. It was utterly unseen at the time.
As a horror nerd at the time, it's funny you say seen. I felt seen watching Scream because they were making references and little in-jokes to things that horror nerds knew and recognized, and it was kind of cool. That being said, I think this movie, the first Scream, is a lot more important to people a couple years younger than us than it is to me.
We're like late 40s something.
Yeah. So I liked Scream, but if I'm making a Mount Rushmore of horror icons, Ghostface is not on it. But he is for people just barely younger than us. The type of people that liked Boy Meets World.
Yeah, we were not Boy Meets World. We were Wonder Years.
Yes, exactly.
So we were Fred Savage and not so much Ben.
Right.
The kids who Ben was their favorite Savage.
Yeah.
They saw this movie when they were younger, and it was one of their formative horror movies.
Exactly.
Where we grew up seeing the gritty, grainy, terror-inducing situations that you've never been in.
Right.
And this one was just in somebody's house, hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
You're always safe there. You're safe in numbers.
Sure.
You're safe with the people you know, and maybe not.
Perhaps not. All right. Well, again, thanks for putting us on here. And if you guys decide to do another Courtney Cox movie, may I suggest Masters of the Universe?
Oh, my God, no. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.
Unlock the cosmic key, man.
No.
All right.
We appreciate you guys. Go lick a toad if you want to.
Eat the bridge, tax the church, all that. And check us out over at Carrie Never Saw That.
Thanks so much, Carrie and Honeybeard, for sending in your take on what you thought of Scream.
I like that slick, calling it slick. I like that. And that's Carrie with a K.
All right, what is next week's episode?
Next week is the start of season 5, the one after Ross says Rachel.
And what is your synopsis?
Well, we get the most awkward wedding reception ever as Emily pulls a Rachel by popping out the bathroom window and making a run for it. Meanwhile, Chandler and Monica cannot get a moment alone. Joey wants to be taller than my giant, and Rachel goes on a honeymoon alone.
Are you ready for some maladjusted content?
No, I think we're really long. We should just leave it out, but we'll talk about friendship after the next episode.
All right, sounds good. We are so glad you stumbled across our podcast. If you're enjoying it, please share it with other friends, fans.
Or maybe rate it and or leave a review.
And if you want to contribute your thoughts or reactions to the podcast, pick your favorite episode and send us your musings. We'll share them on that episode. You can also write just to say hey.
Yeah, come on. We want to hear from even more of you misfits out there.
Email us at themaladjustedmisfits@gmail.com.
Or we're hosted on Buzzsprout. If you'd like to help us with our costs, visit our page and click that donate button. You can also send us fan mail through Buzzsprout. Lots of ways to talk to us. Donate, email, send us fan mail, and we'll give you a shout out on the show.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow the links in the show notes. The pages are called The One Where We Talk About Friends. Also, don't forget, we have a store on TeePublic. If you have a friend shirt you've always wanted, send us your idea.
Joe, you ready for a cup of coffee?
Always.
What's your favorite scary movie?